Okay, hello everybody and welcome to Alpha Racing League's tier number 3. This is round 5 here. We're in the Netherlands at the Zandvoort circuit. Your commentator today is XF1, formerly known as GSRX. Many of you know me as that still. Unfortunately, Polo's Wi-Fi has gone out, so I've had to log into the Twitch hence why we're a little bit late here today. I'll be solo for now. Hopefully his Wi-Fi comes back. Fingers crossed, we don't know. And yeah, hopefully we have a decent race here today. Zandvoort. Get all my stuff up for you guys. Telemetry and track map. Get some tires out for you. See if we can find someone on a lap. Got Raptor. Just so I can talk a little bit. 2 cars ahead of them though. So hopefully they get out of the way. One of them does to Williams there. Very quick circuit here. Minute 8, minute 9 lap time, depending on the tiers, I would say. Maybe even some of the tier 1 guys tomorrow. We'll see get into the 1 minute 7s. That would be quite a spectacular qualifying performance by them. But we should be expecting some mid to high 108s, I would say, coming from pole right now. Kyogre is currently at the top spot with a 109.2. And we still have 6 drivers to set a lap here. Raptor coming to the line, finishing his lap. It'll go P12 110.6. Hopefully he's got a little bit more time in that one. But let me grab some championship standings here. Just trying to tick the clock down here. Just grab this quickly. Our current tier 3 points standings. So we've got Mr. LSJ Rundle as Raptor spun out on his in lap, I believe that would be. Unless he was going for another push lap here. Mr. LSJ Rundle here on a current lap. He's our points leader with 74 points to his name, followed by the racing point of Vapor Callum, who's currently yet to do a lap here. Followed Callum, 51 points, is Mr. Utah Elephant 36, the qualifying bottling master. Currently sets himself up in P6 though, so hopefully those qualifying curses they go away today. Rundle puts himself up to P2 here, 109.3. Very solid lap from the current points leader. Going down, we have Riles, who is a race ban for today. Did not serve as quality ban last time in Azerbaijan. He won that race. So today he does have a race ban. Squid Jr. in 5th. Communist MV, the other McLaren in 6th, and Black Draw 7th. Arthur 8th, Hissy 9th, and Luke, who's currently not in the league, rounds out your top 10 in points. Going to the constructors, we got McLaren with about a 20-point lead over Racing Point, and then it's Haas follows them with Red Bull and Merc rounding out the top 5 there. So I think we've got a good race on our hands today. We've got 19 drivers in the field. We've got 1 Merc missing, unfortunately, which would be Squid Jr. Not sure if he woke up in time. We got anyone on laps here? Go down. Callum finishing 1 was invalid, starting 1 now. Last time out at Baku was a very crazy race. The infamous 30+ tickets that we had. I'm just praying for a much cleaner race today, much safer from a lot of the drivers. It is Zandvoort. Tricky track to nail for myself personally. But for a lot of these guys, it is difficult to nail the power down around here. Very slidey racetrack, and you just have to carry as much speed as possible. Also difficult to save ERS, which might be a big storyline later into the race, see if anyone's been able to keep that advantage to themselves. Callum has invalidated another lap, blacked raw in 18th at the moment. Still yet to do a full lap here. Through it now, sector 3. Gotta nail this final corner because it gives you a big run down to the line here. Looks like he's got it pretty good here. Touches the grass on the way to the line though, out of ERS. Blacked raw with a 109.4 puts himself right in the mix in 7th place. So a good lap from him. We'll go down one position to Surfy, who's finishing his lap now in the Alfa Romeo. And now coming to the line out of ERS, this will be P4, a nice lap, 109.365. That'll put himself right up inside that top 5, coming down to the final runs about now. Kyogre, our current pole sitter, on a lap just starting. We'll go on board with him. Apologies, my TV pod offset is what I use normally, so it won't be your classic TV angle. It'll be centered. So apologies for that, but usually I'm the one racing, not broadcasting, so. Kyogre now finishing sector 1 a little bit loose to the fast right. He's currently a 10th up on his 109.1. Looking very strong at the moment for Team Williams. It's my team right there. Now out of sector 2, we'll see the split time again here. Lost a little bit of time. He nails this section right here. Now to the final corner. Don't invalidate. And keep it as tight to the line as you can here. Running all the way to the right-hand side of the racetrack. What will this be? It'll be marginally quicker, 109.0. Nobody to break into the 108s just yet. Kyogre closest to do so, as Arthur has put himself into the 109.1s along with GSR Deluxe currently. The only ones to get lower than that, but this is a very close qualifying affair at the moment. Gap to the leader. Look at this. Top 16 all within a second of each other at the moment. 17th and 18th a little bit off. And Callum yet to finish a lap that is valid. Yeah, very close. Very short lap time around here, the minute 8, minute 9s. It's a 36th lap race if I'm correct. Looks like Arthur's made a mistake on his time here. Go down to 13th. Red Bull with a good performance yesterday in Tier 4 with Tom Katori taking the top spot in a wet Tier 4 race yesterday. A very interesting one. Oh! Holy cow, that scared me. I looked down for a second and Mr. Zebrafuge is out of the session. It'll be only P13 at the max for him unless someone wants to get themselves a grid penalty. Go on board his teammate MNK Boy, filling in for the Riles, who of course mentioned earlier. Oh, a little wide through the fast right. that'll be his lap done and dusted for now. Yeah, Riles with the race ban today. MNK's filling in. Rundle, points leader. Take us through the Zandvoort circuit. We got cars exiting. Ties. Gets out of the way. Now to the tricky left-hander. Easy to lock up. Rundle does a nice job of not doing so. Now he'll come down this fast flowing section. Use that board on the left-hand side as a reference point. Get the car chucked in to the right using the 50 board here. Get the car chucked in. He's up by a tenth at the moment on this 109.3. Use all the track possible through this section. Don't touch the inside curb. Try and use a little bit of the outside curb if necessary. And now down the second DRS straight. You want to try and clobber this curb. Yes, he does it very nice. Using the inside curb to rotate the car around. Put down the power, and now let's just fling it through this final right-hander. Don't invalidate on that outside curb and use the shortest run to the line possible. Rundle coming to the line, staying to the right-hand side of the racetrack. What will it be? It'll be a 109.254, only 5th fastest at the moment. Again, this qualifying session very, very close. As who else do we have on our lap? We've got Deluxe coming through the middle of Sector 2. We'll see a sector split in a moment's time here. Split time coming up. He's almost a tenth up. Purple sector 2. We're going to see if he can nail this final section. Misses the apex ever so slightly on the right hand side, using as little track as possible to get to the line here. What will this be for Deluxe? It'll be pole position, 108.8 out of nowhere. 3/10 gained in the final sector, and he'll take pole away from Kyogre, who's also 3/10 up going to the final sector. Kyogre now trying to take back the pole position. We'll see if anyone else has anything to say as qualifying is coming to an end here. I've got a little bit of a timing glitch, so they have a little more time than what is stated. Kyogre now to the line using the shortest run. What will it be for the Williams driver? He will take it back into 108.796, just edging out Deluxe by half a tenth. Utile Elephant coming through Sector 2 now. Got a McLaren coming to the line. That would be Rundle going into the pit lane. There's a Ferrari coming. Joe is up by 3/10, so that would put him into the range of Deluxe and Kyogre if he could get a good final sector here. Surfy improves to P6 and swiftly retires from the session. Joe coming to the line. We have a Red Bull coming to the line. MNK boy done with his session. Joe puts himself up to 3rd place ahead of his teammate Arthur. Arthur cannot improve. It's a 3-4 at the moment for Haas, looking very strong. Rapid Extreme has spun around on his flying lap, and I think it's just Hissy now as he pulls into the pit lane. I think that is it for qualifying. It'll be Kyogre with a surprise pole position in the 108.7 range, just barely sneaking in. GSR Deluxe takes home P2 in qualifying for the Racing Point team. Only 2 drivers scraping their way into the 108s. Utile Elephant and Arthur, a solid performance at the moment for Haas, taking home a double top 5 in qualifying. What a session. And we have a couple 5-place grid penalties down here at the bottom for Blackdraw, Callum, and just Dylan Boy. Very, very interesting. Blackdraw will unfortunately have to start on those soft tires because he did qualify inside the top 10. As we scroll down to the bottom, again, 15 drivers within a second of pole position. That is crazy for this tier. But it'll be Kyogre from Pole Deluxe in 2nd, Joe P3, Arthur 4th, Rundle 5th, Surfy 6th, TJ Boy in 7th, MNK Boy 8th. Rapid Extreme 9th, and then rounding out your top 10, it'll be Communist MV starting 10th on the free choice of tire because of these 5-place grid penalties for 10th, 11th, and 13th place. Bugatti ties Jet Belly, Zebrafuge, and Raptor and Hissy not having the qualifyings they would have wanted, but anything could happen in the race, especially we saw it last week. To my knowledge, it is a full dry race, it looks to be, as gonna quickly go through the strategies for the race. 50% should be a pretty easy one-stop, softs to hards. For those inside the top 10, some on the outside looking in might choose to start on the mediums or hards here, and do a medium to hard strategy, or hard to medium, or even hard to soft. A medium to soft could be possible. It's not really questioned if you can have very good tire wear, but very unlikely to see. So driver is getting ready to put their final strategies in, maybe make a front wing adjustment quickly, getting their fuel loads all set up. So we get ready as the formation lap is underway. It'll be Kyogre starting from pole. As I'm gonna just grab this as best as I can. Got a Renault off and a AlphaTauri off. That'll be TJ Boy and Rapid. Not sure what they're doing on the extra AstroTurf out there, but obviously don't have a co-com, unfortunately. So I'm just gonna go through my 3 ones to watch here. I'll go with the guy down in 3rd place, Mr. Utile Elephant 36. Like I said, he's been the qualifying bottling master, but today he's absolutely smashed out the park, starting from 3rd place. If he can get a good start here and just show his race pace he's had in the previous weekends, he can definitely be one to watch for the win, and definitely a podium spot today. There's your predicted strategy. I don't think the 2-stop is viable. Very difficult to pass. We'll go with another one. We'll go down to 5th place. We'll go to Rundle. Points leader. I don't think he showed all that he had in that qualifying session. Rundle's race pace usually very consistent and very quick. I think he could challenge for a podium today. And I think I'll go one outside the top 10. I'll choose who's 2nd in the standings. I'll go with Callum. 15th starting on the mediums. I think he has a chance to move up. I don't think he's shown all he's got in qualifying today, but we'll see if he can make this alternate strategy work here as we get ready to start this race up. As we get ready for 5 red lights. Five red lights, and away we go. It looks like a good start for the Racing Point, and the Haas behind, that's Joe. Deluxe is going to jump Kyogre into turn 1 around the outside. Kyogre trying to hold it. Deluxe is going to take the lead away from Kyogre, and Joe slots himself into 3rd. We've got a timing glitch on the left-hand side. Apologies for that, as we have a car off in the back. That is a AlphaTauri, and we have a virtual safety car already. I believe that would be Jet Belly and the Red Bull of Zebra. Yes, they did go off at turn 1. I don't see any damage, so they should be able to continue on their way. Unfortunately, not having to start they would have wanted. Deluxe, though, with an amazing start, he'll get himself out to the lead as the VSC has ended, and we're back under green flag running. Dylan Boy has a penalty. Want to see if that maybe is a drive-through. No, it's a 5-second penalty. That would be very costly for his race if we get a safety car later on in the race. Kyogre, unfortunately, didn't get the start he would have wanted. Ties goes and passes Raptor here for 13th, making his way up on the mediums. Callum up to 12th as well. Good starts for them as Black Draw pulls into the pit lane. Fortunately, must have damage and Rapid Extreme as, or sorry, that would be Ties and Dylan Boy as well pulling into the pits. So not the starts they would have wanted, but up at the front, it'll be Deluxe leading Kyogre. I need this timing glitch to go away, please. Please. Can't really see. We have a kind of a 3-car breakaway here. It looks like Surfy holding up a little bit of a train here at the moment. Timing glitch finally goes away. So it's going to be a bit of a single file affair here. Arthur looking for a Surfy. Fortunately, not going to be able to get it without this DRS advantage here. He'll have to slide in behind. Again, I said ERS very difficult to save. And look at this. Deluxe has a 20% advantage over Kyogre. And Joe, about similar with Deluxe, but 1.5 off of the DRS range off of Kyogre. So he's got a little bit of work to do, but he's got a gap behind him, so he's able, you can just look forward. He doesn't have any pressure from behind like Surfy does here. He's got a huge pack of cars behind him looking to take any mistakes that he may make. Callum and Raptor up 5 and 6 positions, respectively. Other than that, not too many big losers. We have Ties down 6 off of his lap 1 pit stop. Black Draw down as well after another lap 1 pit stop. But we've got MNK Boy side by side with Communist here for P9. And he'll just get that move done. Communist might lose out to Callum as well. Callum to the inside. Contact through the fast right. And now into the left. Callum gets the job done on the exit. Nice move there. A little bit of contact, but kept it very clean overall. And Callum up into the points. Now P9. We have a spinner at the back. That is Jet Belly. Reserving the AlphaTauri. Very difficult on traction, this racetrack. Very difficult to get it just right. As Callum looks to the inside of MNK. MNK didn't really give him room. Callum with a bit of a dive there. And now Callum with the DRS, not using overtake. This time will look for a move on the main straight, I believe, if he can line up this exit. As a pass between Rapid and Bulgogi for 11th place. Rapid looks to get a move on into the points as Callum now. DRS not particularly close to MNK, so no change in position there. We have 2 in front though. We have Arthur going past Surfy and Rundle getting by TJ. TJ Boy back to the inside. No, it's just Rundle lagging a little bit. And TJ Boy down to 7th place. At the front stays pretty stable. Closest battle on track is between MNK and Callum here. K-Boy filling in Red Bull. Lannis requested he race today, and He's delivered. These are tires. A lot of people on softs, no one on the hards, so everybody who pit lap 1 is going to be hoping for a safety car, otherwise they're stopping it today without any big time gain, really. Callum trying to line up a move on MNK. Did MNK, though, did he get DRS? He did get DRS off TJ Boy. Does TJ Boy maybe have damage? He's fallen off a second and a bit off of Rundle. Callum clips the inside curb. Oh, saves the car. Gonna lose a bit of time, but does not lose a front wing. That is the main thing here. As we have a pass further back, that is Zebra getting by a Raptor here. Now in 13th place. Very close for 4th place. Bit of a gap, a little bit ahead. No one with a penalty yet. That might have been a warning though for Surfy on that outside curb. Very easy, I think, to pick up penalties here, especially on these outside curbs. You can get hooked onto them and just can't get off sometimes. So, very common for people to grab penalties around this racetrack. I would expect to see a couple 3 and 6 seconds. Got a battle here. 12th place. Zebra trying to make a position as Raptor slides the car in the background. Zebra for Red Bull looking to the inside. He's gonna peek his nose. He's gonna get there on Blue Goggy, and he's gonna drive by on the straight. Zebra up to 12th, also looking to get himself points. He's got a little bit of work to do, but not too far off at the moment. MNK Boy, Rowdy, TJ, and Rundle. Rundle seems to be lagging a little bit. I've heard he's had a screen freeze from his team leader, but he's got to get on with it. P6, 2 and a bit behind Surfy for 5th, as we have a close affair for the lead at the moment. Kyogre clips the inside curb. Deluxe clips the outside curb. Kyogre doesn't look like he's gonna attempt to move into 1 here. Deluxe going defensive nonetheless, as we have a bit of a fight further back. Callum on the back of MNK. MNK does not have DRS ahead. This should be a simple move for Callum to the inside of MNK Boy. And down the inside and clear out of turn 1. Good move from Callum. And nice to see space left by MNK Boy. That'll be for P8. Callum still trying to close in on his rival, LSJ Rundle, who is now only 2 seconds in front of him about. Rundle not in the top 5. Wow. He's not had a great qualifying, and you know, it is a bit difficult to pass around here if they're in a bit of a DRS train. Rundle with a bit of a connection issue from what I can see. P6 currently still in the points, good position at the moment. Could see him climb back into the top 5, I think. Arthur, no battery left. I told you guys. This track's so difficult to save the ERS. As Callum goes down the inside of TJ Boy. TJ Boy not giving up on the outside, but Callum looks like he's got the move stuck. Still climbing his way back up. I knew that wasn't his best in qualifying, and he's proving it right now. Now 1.5 behind. Rundle looking to get back into DRS range and put a move on. Yes, he's been getting screen freezes, it seems. Looks like he's randomly losing a second. Yeah, I've been seeing that as well, but from my onboards with him, even in qualifying, he's been a bit jittery on the racetrack as well. So, Unfortunate for Rundle, to be honest. The internet seems to be having a bit of an issue at the moment. But obviously, race not over yet. He's still P6. He's got a lot of time left. Arthur's got himself into DRS range of Joe here ahead, his teammate. Apparently Joe is 2 seconds off as Kyogre first to dive it into the pits on a scheduled pit stop. He'll be electing the hard compound tires, I would assume. And yes, it will be the hards for Kyogre, looking to try and undercut here on Deluxe. But the question is, does he get put out in traffic, or will he have clean air? He's going to come out just by this Red Bull side by side. He's cut the pit exit a little bit there. It might be a warning for him. But he'll be in traffic here, which may cost him dearly on this undercut. So now Deluxe looking to have a good couple laps. Arthur on the back of his teammate. Will he look for a move? Should be about when the pit window is opening. Laps 9 to about 12, I would say, for the soft compound tire runners here. Mediums going a little bit longer, maybe towards lap 15. But Kyogre still stuck behind Zebra there, down in 12th place. Deluxe dives it in, Arthur dives it in, Joe stays out another time here. So Arthur trying to get the upper hand on his teammate here, as we have a lot of cars starting to box for some hard tires. Joe, Surfy, Callum, Rowdy, TJ Boy, and Rapid. He only wants to stay out at the moment, and Raptor as well. Pull on some softs. But for the lead, Deluxe has kept it. It's about the same as Zebra goes down the inside of Kyogre. You saw his steering go a little wonky. Won't be able to get the move done. Kyogre stays ahead for the time being. Zebra loses the car, loses it, and down into the wall. We have a safety car. This has changed the race dramatically here. Joe, Surfy, Callum, TJ Boy, Rapid, all having to pit off these softs. They're going to get a free pit stop out of this. They might come out ahead of Deluxe and Kyogre here for the race lead. Joe might have put himself in a prime position to take the race lead. Surfy as well could put himself into the top 3 if it goes his way. We should see a lot of the medium runners as well dive it in for some hard tires. As yeah, Joe coming in, Surfy should be following him, Callum as well, TJ Boy, Communist, everybody should be diving into the pits if they haven't already. This is a free pit stop for them. Hard tires for all of them. Deluxe, where will he come out though? Joe racing to the exit. Will he take the lead? No, it'll be Deluxe still ahead, but he does jump Kyogre. Jet Belly's got a 5-second and a drive-through. That's a really unfortunate combo. So Joe has jumped Kyogre in this sequence, and he'll have fresher tires. Surfy comes out 4th. Arthur, the biggest loser out of this, I think, in 5th. Callum jumps Rundle as well for 6th place, the 2 championship contenders at the moment. And then K-Boy, interestingly, has elected to choose the mediums. Fresh mediums? I don't know if those will go to the end, to be honest. I don't think so. It'll be interesting to see what he can do with those. It could cause a little bit of commotion here in the mid-pack. Everybody else choosing the hard tires. Jet Belly on the mediums as well. Did not box into that safety car. Yeah, this has definitely changed the outcome of this race. Saberfuge has already left the server. After that incident with Kyogre, I don't know, man. Mediums are going to be a stretch, yeah. They're, with the safety car laps, it'll be very tight, I think. He might be trying to two-stop it here. Hope that he can get through these cars ahead, and then box with some softs towards the end. We'll see, though. Just gonna go through all the cars, make sure no one's lagged out, because it's not popping up on my screen, fortunately. Does not look like it. Probably gonna be another time around, I would assume. Might go this time, actually, we'll see. But everybody's gonna be pretty much even on the ERS stance here. Everybody up towards 100. Yeah, safety car will be in this time. Mr. Deluxe will lead us to the green as he looks to let the safety car get away a little bit here, so he can restart the field properly. We've got a gap to Kyogre. Kyogre isn't moving. Instead of letting him accelerate in 4th gear, Arthur's got a collision penalty with Surfy. Surfy's got one as well. Yeah, Kyogre was in a higher gear. It wasn't letting him go. Luckily for the pack, Deluxe did not choose to restart. Deluxe goes now, and Joe's got the jump on him, it looks like. Joe might be able to look around the outside here. Ooh, Kyogre gets into him. Surfy looking for a way through, side by side now, but Surfy and Kyogre. Kyogre goes around. Kyogre collects Arthur as well. Arthur into a wall, and I believe it'll only be those two. Surfy and Kyogre collide into turn number 2. Kyogre went around. He's done like a 360. He's got himself up and back into the race here at P9. Surfy's gotten out worse. Or sorry, Arthur's gotten out worse with wing damage and the 5-second time penalty to serve. Not sure whose fault that's going to be. That'll definitely be looked at in stewarding, I would assume. Big collision there causes a major change in the race here. But Deluxe now ahead of Joe, and Surfy will take over 3rd place with Rundle now back to 4th, Callum 5th. So Rundle's actually jumped Callum off of all that commotion on the restart. I don't know what to say, that was absolutely crazy. Arthur speeds into the pit lane. You might be retiring here. Doesn't look like it. Has to serve a 5-second and got another 5. Raptor speeds into the pit lane as well. And then K-Boy's got himself up after the collision ahead. But Arthur, Raptor going on to mediums, hoping they could stretch those to the end as well. It'll be close again, I think. Still very difficult to get those to the end. Wait, do we have another safety car? Or is... Yeah, we do. We do have another safety car. So another safety car. Will anyone elect to pit for some mediums? Deluxe fakes it to the pit lane. Doesn't look like anyone's electing to do so. This will help out MNK, to be honest, in his quest to get those mediums as far as possible. And now Arthur and Raptor might be able to get those to the end as well. To elect to pit, that'll be Kyogre Communist off the hard tires. Communist onto some softs, interestingly enough. Kyogre serving a 5-second penalty and boxing for the medium tires and a wing change as well. So from pole down to 13th for Kyogre, we'll see if he's able to make up the ground lost with the remaining 20 laps of this race. We're only 16 laps in. Thank you for the reminder, Joe. So, just been brought to my attention that race leader, Mr. GSR Deluxe, has a 5-second penalty from last week. I completely forgot about Baku was last week, and we had an absolute boatload of incidents and penalties. So, some people have penalties that carry over today. Deluxe has an extra 5 seconds to carry on to his race time. And then it'll be next would be Communist. Communist has an extra 5 on his time on the soft tires, which is an interesting pick in my opinion. But yeah, he's got an extra 5 onto his time, and then Arthur down 14th has an extra 3. So very interesting, especially GSR Deluxe leading the race at the moment. Has the extra 5, which technically means that that technically means that Joe is our race leader. Surfy, I would assume that 5 gets removed if we don't have another safety car where they box. Whoa, Joe losing the car, trying to warm the tires, I would assume. Oh. Wow. Almost lost out to Surfy. Broke one of the boards. Got a crazy one so far. Safety car, yes, it'll be in this time. We're about halfway through. This Deluxe will lead us back to another green flag run. Deluxe decides to go now, and Joe does have a jump on him here. He's very close to the back. Will he get to the outside? Doesn't look like it. Gets hit up the rear though from Surfy. Callum and Rundle side by side as well. Behind them for 4th. Callum has the inside. Rundle will be able to get the exit. No, he won't. Callum takes P4. Kyogre getting by Hissy as well off the restart, up to 11th. Arthur as well following him through on the fresh medium tires. MNK as well going to be looking to charge through on the mediums while they still last. More changes towards the back. Communist, he's hit again onto the hards again, so he doesn't think the mediums are going to make it. As he's dropped back to 17th, that's a big cluster at the back there. But Deluxe has absolutely stormed the field, and I can see why. He's used up 30% of his extra battery compared to Joe here. Yeah, he's used up 35% more. He's pulled out the second gap though, which is what he needs. He needs to gain 5 seconds on Joe at this time, unless Joe gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits, and it'll only be a 2-second gap. So 1.5 to Joe, and then Callum on the back of Surfy looking very competitive at the moment. ties up to 11th. Arthur and Hissy have boxed. I would assume they collided. I did see them pass each other on the racetrack. But yeah, ties up to 11th over Jet Belly. Jet Belly's on the mediums. He might make a charge back. Callum not close enough to Surfy. Realistically, without DRS, he's going to need Surfy to make a mistake through one of those crucial corners. Jet Belly with a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. Might see a couple more of those pop up as we're getting a little bit deeper into this race. Everybody pushing hard. Callum on Surfy, not close enough, it doesn't look like. One who is close enough, Kyogre, to the outside of Rapid, and he'll get that done before the braking zone. Up to 8th, setting the fastest lap in succession as well. He's on a charge back towards the front. Was our pole sitter. Not sure whose fault really it was on that first safety car restart we had, but all they could do right now is just drive to the best of their ability, pull out as much of a gap as they can, and hope and pray that the penalty doesn't affect too much of their finishing positions. So Kyogre climbing back up through the field, up to 8th now. And looking on Rowdy TJ Boy, will he get to the inside? Oh, thought about it. Callum on Surfy a little farther up. Surfy has DRS on Joe though, so won't be able to get it done. Now Kyogre on TJ Boy, our leading, sort of leading medium runner. MNK Boy has that title at the moment, but his are 5 laps older, so of a bit more wear. Rowdy TJ Boy gets a little swirly out of the final corner. GSR Deluxe in the fastest lap. Now here comes Kyogre, and he'll take home a P7 for now. MNK and Rundle side by side up front, and it looks like Rundle will get P5 for now. So again, it's still a little bit laggy for Rundle, unfortunately. Arthur takes away that fastest lap as he gets by Hissy. For P16, unfortunately, no points awarded back there. They're going to need another safety car to get back into this one. We used up 3 of the 5 allotted via season safety cars. Very close train here from Utah Elephant on back, but I'm very curious to see if Joe's going to be able to pull this gap back to Deluxe, because Deluxe has next to no battery at the moment. And Joe, you could see he's got a 60%. Must have been listening to me. Saying battery, very difficult to save. I don't think Deluxe is going to be able to get back above like 20% this whole entire race now. And there's still a lot of laps to go here. 16 more. Sorry. 14. Yeah, 14 more to go, sorry. Brain damage. TJ Boy stays ahead of Rapid for now. Kyogre looking on the back of MNK Boy for P6. Kyogre's had a decent comeback here, but again, not much battery to play with, so that could really hinder his overtaking now, as it's a bit of a DRS train. Oh, contact between him and MNK Boy. MNK Boy's out of the Grand Prix. Looked like MNK got swirly on the exit, and Kyogre, I don't think that was his fault. I don't know. I sound biased. I'm a team leader. It looked like from the angle I got there, MNK got loose on the apex, and then Kyogre had nowhere to go. And that'll be a double DNF for Red Bull. So after the 1-2 that they had in Tier 1, and then Tier 4, did they have a... They might have had a 1-2, I don't remember. I know they won with Calm, but I don't remember where Grosjean finished. But now a double DNF in Tier 3, that is not what they wanted to see today. Back towards the front. Does Kyogre have any damage from that? He might have That doesn't look like it. Rundle close to the back of Callum here. Callum close to the back of Surfy. Surfy close to the back of Joe, who is 3.6 behind Deluxe at the moment. Yeah, just a bit of a train at the moment. Everyone trying to save up the ERS that they have. Rundle looks like he's in a good spot with his 65. Earning it now. Gonna be looking to get by Callum here. Two championship rivals. Rundle looking to the outside of Callum here. Around the outside of turn one, it's a brave move. But Callum will hold on. Rundle looking back down the inside. No, thinks better of it. Can't get there in time. Can't get the car fully alongside. He'll have to sit behind for now. Kyogre going to be trying to close up to this pack of 4. And after that, it's a train. DJ Boy, I saw a very close gap between Black Raw and Rapid. I'm not sure if there was any contact through there. Now, Deluxe absolutely running away with this. This must be one of his favorite tracks. I don't think I've ever seen him have any pace like this. 4 and a bit seconds to Joe. Joe's got the train behind him. They're a bit spread out. Kyogre's caught up to the back of them. Raptor picking up a 3-second time penalty down in 13th at the moment. Won't help his campaign to the points, unfortunately. Yeah, my question is now, will these mediums be able to get all the way to the end? MAK Boy was our main guy who we weren't sure was going to make it. Now he's he's DNF'd. So I don't know if they're going to be able to get these mediums to the end. Kyogre and Black Raw and Jet Belly and Raptor, the 4 that I'd be worried about at the moment. Kyogre close to the back of Rundle. Doesn't look like anything's happening though down this straight. Yeah, we've got Deluxe, who's pulled out a nice lead. And then we have this train from 2nd to 6th. And then another quite big gap, to be honest. Rowdy TJ Boy, and then that would be Rapid and Black Raw in that train. And then our final points position, Ugagi, who's got ties in his DRS. So, still battles up and down the field at the moment. I'm going to try and focus on this main train here between 2nd through 6th, because at the moment this would technically be for the race win. Joe is within the 5-second window of Deluxe, but Deluxe is absolutely storming his way through in this race. This whole entire time he's been absolutely insane, to be honest. Callum close to Surfy. It's going to take a desperate lunge through this section of the racetrack, or a mistake whipping that inside. There's a big one that can happen. Looking at the ERS, again, Deluxe very low, using it out of that corner. Joe has 50% left. He's just about dropped outside that 5-second window though. He's going to need to get a move on, unfortunately for him. Surfy only has 5% though. He can't really challenge Joe for that position because he just does not have the battery to do so. Callum also struggling on the battery. And Rundle has about 40%, so he's in a decent position. And Kyogre also struggling with the battery. These guys in this train. Rundle gets a little loose through the fast right into the banked turn 3. Doesn't look like anything has happened though. Kyogre's stuck behind these guys on this fresher medium tires. They should be starting to go about now though. So, not too sure if he's going to be able to make up any more positions in this race. Rundle getting loose. And never mind, that is just lag. That scared the bejeebus out of me. Rundle's still P5. Holy cow, that looked too real. Might draw close to TJ Boy for 7th. We'll see if he's got a move on here. Doesn't happen. It's all status quo still. Big DRS train still for P2. Joe, not within that window that he needs to be to win this race. We'll see if he's able to claw it back just 9 more times around. Deluxe has stormed his way through at the moment, and he's done very well. And currently, I just missed something. What happened? Callum just passed Surfy. Communist picks up a 3-second towards the back. But Callum has put himself in to a podium position. It's a double podium for Racing Point. Milo must be very happy about that. After the loss of Tony Sun and Alpe, these two making up for it at the moment in the points. First and third. Looks good for them. Kyogre, Rundle close. Oh, Kyogre starting to lose the tires. I said they'd start me going now. It's going to be very nip and tuck if he can get these to the end. Rundle close to Surfy. Surfy looks to be struggling towards the back end of this race. He does have that 5-second penalty, but I believe that that'll be easily removed if he appeals it. But we don't get a safety car between now and the end of the race where he can box for some softs and remove that 5-second. Rundle very laggy still, and just makes it so difficult to know where he is on the racetrack for these guys around him, Surfy and Kyogre. Kyogre probably was so happy when he saw that lag spike that I did. And then Rundle just straight back onto the racetrack, P5. Callum and Joe, these guys have raced each other many times, both in Vapor, the esports racing team. Nice little team they have there, as Callum is going to be looking to get by Joe here for P2 and get after his teammates, see if he can close back that gap in order to get to the race leads. Rundle to the inside of Surfy, and Rundle has got that move done. Surfy, again, looks to be struggling. Saw the fuel light go on in the bottom right-hand corner. Very, very close between these three now. Rundle has to get back into DRS of Callum. Callum looks to be on the charge to try and secure the 1-2 for Racing Point. That would be absolutely amazing for them if they can get it done. Kyogre just not able to get the run on Surfy. Surfy, yeah, struggling on those old hard tires now. Rundle trying to get back into DRS. He's done so. Deluxe has his gap that he needs with just 6 more times around now. As Callum, very, very close to Joe here. This will be surely the move. Callum to the outside of his teammate, esports teammate Joe, and he's got it done. Joe can't hold it on the inside. Callum up to P2. It's a Racing Point 1-2. Now it's just which order they'll finish. Callum has to make up 2.3 seconds to his teammate if he wants to win this race. Deluxe, remember, has that extra 5 seconds from Baku. Jet Belly gets by Raptor, who has boxed for, I would assume, a set of softs. Yes, it will be. But, yeah, Surfy now not in DRS. Kyogre might be able to get a move on to him here. Not sure if it'll happen on this straight, maybe on the main one. Surfy just outside that window. Needs to claw back in. He's done so. Does he get DRS? We have a VSC deployed. That is Arthur DNF'd with a fast right-hander. Looks like he's lost a car. And that'll bring a stop to Kyogre's attack on Surfy. Oh! Surfy just brake checked Kyogre. Kyogre's got a 5-second for that. Are you kidding me? Surfy's brake checked Kyogre, but Kyogre's got no front wing. And now Rundle is on the back of Joe here for P3, looking to get himself onto the podium. Rundle all over the back of Joe. Gets swirly on the exit though. Does he have the run? Doesn't look like it this time. Both very good on the battery at the moment. Kyogre losing out massively. He's got no front wing. And that's going to be his race effectively over. He's going to have to probably box. Yeah, he's got no no left-hand side on that thing. That is so unfortunate for him. Unfortunately, it won't be the pole to the win for him today. Yeah, he'll pit. Ties will take the final points paying position at the moment. Rundle Joe on Callum, still trying to claw back time. Kyogre will go for the fastest lap, I would assume, along with Raptor and Jet Belly, as they've done. Check that fastest lap for you right now. Currently held by Arthur, who's not in the race anymore, with an 11.550. So, again, very close affair for these top four. Surfy's falling off the back of him towards the end of this race. Rundle to the outside of Joe now. Into turn one. Can't get it done. Will he switch it back to the inside? Doesn't have the drive off, unfortunately. Joe's going to hold on to the podium. He wants it so badly. Both even on ERS. The leaders also even on ERS. The racing points haven't exactly managed the battery as you think they should. But super close here. Rundle go on board with him. Joe squirting out of the exit. Just needs to get the drive off of here though in order to keep the position. Looks like he's got it pretty alright there. TJ Boy close to Black Raw, whose tires should be starting to go about now. The mediums will definitely be past their prime. Now with just 2 more times around, Rundle might start to get desperate. Looks good on the brakes into turn 1, which bodes well for him. We have a yellow flag. That is a Renault off at the fast right. I think that is a Raptor. Yes, it is. He's staying off the track, letting the leader pass by. Kyogre does take away that fastest lap point. 110.691. Fortunately, that won't be a point for him. It has to be inside the top 10. But this battle for the final podium spots. What will it be? Callum on Joe on Rundle. Deluxe looks to have this pretty much secured if he can just keep it clean one more time around. 8 seconds ahead in the lead. He's absolutely dominated. We've got an engine glitch. I'm going to get off of that on board. Does Rundle have enough into turn 1? Doesn't look like it. I think it's going to stay status quo. Raptor picking up a speed penalty to the pit lane. I think that is his race done. Yeah, he'll DNF in the pits one more time around for the podium spot. Rundle's super close to Joe. Gets super... Oh my gosh, he's just crashed from 4th. Rundle loses it out of the banked left-hander. And Surfy has now been promoted to 4th. Black Draw, Rowdy TJ Boy, Rapid Extreme, Blue Goggy Ties, and Communist will now take over that final points main position. Communist over Jet Belly. Joe is looking on Callum now for the 2nd place. This is on track, no penalties applied afterwards for either of these two. This is all it is. Rundle, an absolutely unfortunate end to his race. That scared me so badly. Doesn't look like Joe's going to get there. It's going to be GSR Deluxe, though, weaving across the line. An amazing finish, an amazing race from him. Callum, his teammate, is going to come home 2nd place. It's a 1-2 for Racing Point. How about that? Joe picking up another podium, and he'll come home 3rd. Another solid points. A Surfy 4th, and I believe he'll keep that even with the penalties. No, he'll drop all the way to 6th. Should see a 5-second removed down to 8th now. Yeah, he had 10 seconds of penalties, I think. We'll see if he can get those removed in stewarding. That'll be Black Draw on the mediums. He'll make those to the end. Good effort by him. Rapid Extreme picking up the, for now, top 5. Blue Goggy P6. Good runs for all of these guys. Rowdy TJ Boy 7th. And that'll be it. What a finish. Rundle losing it, final lap. That was absolutely crazy. Callum is your driver of the day. I don't think the only person I think would be argued to be the other driver of the day would be his teammate. Absolutely dominated after getting the lead from turn 1. Never looked back. See if I can get these guys into the party and if it'll let them include their audio. Hopefully it does. Deluxe has joined. Can you guys include audio? Okay. I don't know if it was... Whenever I stream, it's weird. It doesn't let people include their stuff. Yeah, we can hear you. I'm not sure if the stream can, though. I don't... Oh, okay. So... I'm gonna go ahead with this. Hopefully it actually works. I'll start with 3rd. We'll go to 3rd to 1st here. Mr. Joe, another podium. Back-to-back for you. How was your race today? Very stressful? It was a big train between the top 6, really. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, it a bit of a crazy final finish there. For your championship, this will solidify your third for the time being, I think. And yeah, Rundle. Alright, I'll go to second now. We'll go. I don't think stream can hear, unfortunately, but I'll still do it anyway. I don't care. Callum, massive drive after pretty poor qualifying. How do you think your race went, and how was it in that train with everybody else? Nice. Sounds like a good finish. KFC's always nice. I think Racing Point takes the constructors lead. I'll lead into this with Deluxe as well. I think you guys take the constructors lead in tier 3 after this 1-2, and I think both McLarens missed out on points today. So did he get P10? Actually, he might not after the 3 seconds, so I think they don't get any points. Okay. Either way, I don't think that's points. I don't think he was 5 ahead. And I'll go to the race winner, Deluxe. Congratulations, absolutely dominant performance. I think you led every single lap, if I'm not mistaken. Did he? Okay, that's right. Let's go. Pretty much no mistakes on your part. It was almost flawless, I think. Congratulations, the 1-2 for Racing Point as well. That's awesome for your guys' campaign. I think that'll do it. I'm still not sure. I don't think the stream can hear, but yeah, I don't know if it's on Joe's stream or if it's okay. That's great. I'll see afterwards, but we've got tier 2 coming up today. About 45 minutes. Round 5 for them. We'll see if the 2 title contenders, Waman or Exbulo, will be able to take a win here. Waman looks good in time trial, so we'll see if anyone could stop him. Yeah, so that's coming up in 45 minutes at 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UK. And then tomorrow, Tier 1 Zandvoort again. That'll be at 12 p.m. East, and 5 p.m. UK. That's going to be it from me. Congratulations to the podium finishers and everyone who got points. That'll be it from me. See you guys in a bit for Tier 2.